All right, level 22.
All right.
The canyons of Yavin.
Yeah, they did a good job of making the environment look misty and jungle like.
Yes, it's also nice because it's a nice change of pace. I mean, it's at
Yeah,
the very end of the game, basically, but
right.
it's a lot
Lots of
different.
imperial bases and ships we
Right,
saw.
but I mean the whole thing with controlling the ATST.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like you don't have to do it, but
Y- Yeah, and when I had my playthrough, I only did it a tiny bit, and I realized it was much harder to not because, yeah, it's easier if you just get in it and start blasting.
actually you might have to at certain parts. I'm not sure, but not worth not.
Yeah, yeah. I do remember running through here and blasting, but I think 90% of my playthrough was on foot, and I was just jumping from cave to cave and ledge to ledge. Lots of sniping because there. I think there's rocket launcher stormtroopers in a bit.
You know, it's funny. It occurred to me that
Yep, there they
controlling the
are.
ATST would probably be easier in first person, at least for certain parts of it.
Right.
I should have, because I think there's a hotkey to change to first person.
Pretty sure.
I should have done that.
Yeah, I just recently the YouTube channel G Man Lives. He does a lot of first person reviews for PC, and he swears by playing this game in first person. That's his preferred method. And
Even the lightsaber
yeah,
stuff. Mm.
he said there's advantages to that. I can't remember what they are, but yeah, everyone has their play style, I guess.
Yeah.
It is more immersive if you do that, I have to say.
Yeah. It's just something to get used to. I like everything.
Right. Right. Man, how many of these Star Wars first-person shooters have featured ATSTs as
Oh,
bad guys? Or
it's ubiquitous.
it's like the probe droid.
It's not a star. Oh, jeez. Yeah, it's not a Star Wars like first person game or even
I
third
know.
person in the case of the
Right.
Fallen Order and Survivor.
Right.
If it doesn't have an ATST in it.
That TIE fighter that just crashed into the ledge, I wonder if Chirrut shot that down with his light bow. It was like the one in Rogue One.
Yeah.
I always wish there was a little bit more gore in Star Wars games. Like, the ATSTs have a foot claw on the front, and according to source books, it's supposed to be able to tear down fences and things like that. But you just love to just step on a stormtrooper and just see him split in half with a bunch of blood and
Oh yeah. I'm well. What is it like? There's there's in all of Star Wars. I can off the top of my head, I can only think of two instances where there's blood, and that's in A New Hope when Obi-Wan cuts Ponda Baba's arm off,
right, right,
and then in The Force Awakens, the the blood on Finn's
right.
stormtrooper helmet.
Very true. And with Ponda Baba, it was always weird because it's like, do you aqualish? Does their blood not cauterize on a
Oh right,
lightsaber?
well that was always the thing. That was
They have
the
more
head canon.
platelets.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that the close up of the arm is a different arm than the long shots of Ponda Baba, which
Uh-huh.
is kind of how they had to retcon Aqualish as being having two
Right.
different subspecies.
Two different subspecies, yeah. Which was interesting. It's just interesting to use that, right,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
create a sort of unique attribute for like an alien species or whatever.
for sure. And then later in the prequels, when they kind of had redone Aqualish in the Senate, it looked more like they had four eyes instead of two,
Uh huh.
and people were like, "What the hell?"
Oh
And then they
shit.
kind of, I think they kind of mixed that in. I think I can't remember exactly, but it almost seems like that was another fucking subspecies or something.
Which kind of a Qualish are you? You the one with the flippers or the hands? Are you the one with the four eyes or the two eyes? You got flippers and two eyes or flippers and four eyes?
I'm sure there's a red light district catering to every Aqualish need.
Need, yeah. Well, how many castes or whatever are there in India? Like, because that's a caste society,
I don't
right?
know how
So
many, but yeah,
does it beat the Aqualish society
right,
for the amount of
right.
tiers?
One thing that I'm happy has changed a little bit in recent media, like in the Battlefront 2 campaign, is that in Star Wars stories over the years, Aqualish become the stereotype where they're all like assholes, like Ponda Baba
Mm-hmm.
or
Yeah.
Rhodians. But there was one in the Battlefront 2 campaign that was actually a decently, okay senator or whatever.
Yeah.
It's nice to get that See, that's the diversity I want. I want some Star Wars to kind of scale back on some of these stereotypes for the aliens and show some bad Mon Calamari or something. You could go the other way too.
Evil. Evil Mon Calamari.
Right.
Make a Sith Mon Cal Sith.
Hey, we have a Sith Bith in Darth Tenebris,
That's
so
right.
Dark Lord of the Bith. I don't know why I never thought of that till right
Dark
now.
Lord of the Jets.
You will call me Lord Jizz.
Darth Jets.
Tangent.
A Jizz Lord.
A Jizz Lord? That's one of my favorite lines. I don't know what it is. It's just the way he says it. A Sith Lord? It's like you put a comma between the
I know, right?
words.
Well, I think he's just so shocked, right? Like
Right,
at the
yeah.
notion.
I'm shocked at the dialogue. No, it's because you're so beautiful. The shining example of prequel dialogue there.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing. People crap on it, the prequels for the dialogue. That to me, that gives it its charm. It's like a
Um,
B movie in that way. It's you laugh with it.
I watched. I don't know if I watched the whole thing. I don't remember, but it's this YouTuber. He He's not very prolific in the amount of videos he's put out, but they're some pretty in-depth stuff. He had a whole thing about the Woody Harrelson case and stuff. But he had another video about how the prequels are like basically just a long string of like references, homages, and in the style of all these movies that
Yes.
George grew up with. So like
Right. Right.
even so far as like the stilted acting and dialogue and all that stuff and how it's delivered was what George was going for. Versus like
Exactly. Right.
versus so there was intent, right? Because it's very
Right.
it's out of another time. I don't know if it's true. I mean, he could be pulling it out of his ass, but he had a lot of examples of like this scene is a reference to this scene in this movie and this scene.
Right, like the display monitor looking like the Flash Gordon one that Padme appears on, and
But
all that. Yeah.
even like the scene setup and the composition and everything, it's all from these other movies, and that's all movies
Right.
are for the most part. You know,
Sure.
Tarantino gets a lot of shit for his movies, and people say they rip off other movies or whatever, and it's like, well,
It's an homage.
it's hard to be original, but
It is.
yeah. So I mean, I don't know if it excuses anything. Maybe in some people's mind it does, in other people
it's a good way to
doesn't.
look at it. A new way to interpret it.
Yeah.
Those fucking rocket launchers.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I think this is why when I played it, I jumped out and I started stealth, playing ledge to ledge and sniping those guys, because it does get, oh, nice fall. It does get kind of intense.
See, this was the annoying part. The crosshair, like you block things that you
It gets
should
in
be
the way.
shooting it. The crosshair's
Yeah.
fine because it's always there, even in the back of
Yeah.
the head of the ATST, but gets kind of irritating sometimes. But that's what I get for not looking up the key command to go first person.
Yeah. That creature sound, it was like straight out of like Dagobah or Andor
Yep.
from the
I'm
movies.
pretty sure it's Dagobah.
Right.
It just reminds me of that Yoda Star Wars breakbeat because it samples all those swamp sounds.
Right.
That frog thing sound over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's been quite a while since I heard those.
I wonder if they're on Spotify.
You never know.
I'll have to look that up.
People sneak sampled stuff on Spotify every so often, as long as it's just dialogue and sounds and not other music.
Yeah.
Oh, so I remember when I played this part here, that asshole, when he jumped down on me from the ledge, I force pushed him in the air and he just kept going. And he's like, and he died. It was great.
I love it when you get them like that.
Right. Like right there, if you had just force pushed him out, he would have croaked. The timing is crucial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was only inevitable that they give you more lightsaber foes in this game so that you have more, like, someone could play it mostly with blaster, but it forces you to use your lightsaber for those guys.
Yeah.
Because I think they just block every blaster shot.
It's more interesting to have
Yeah.
enemies
Yeah.
that have lightsabers. Well, there you go. Level 22. And to level 23.
I always forgot there was the goal screen you could check. You don't need it so much on this game as you do.
Well, it's so linear. It's not.
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
very
like.
linear.
Yeah, it's not like Fallen Order or whatever. Where
Yeah, especially Survivor. You have to check the map and the stuff a bunch.
so the Imperials took the canyon and came in a back way, blasted through a back door, I guess.
Right. Back door, huh? Good idea.
Yeah. They learned from Han and the rebels. Yep, those guys are dead.
I think this is. I'm trying to think how many battles of Yavin there's been, aside from the one in New Hope. But like, even after Return of the Jedi, I think it was. I can't remember if Darksaber is before or after this. It's like in the same year. And because Dala attacks Yavin with the Night Hammer, the Super Star Destroyer, and Dorsk 82, and them pull it down or launch it away from Yavin. I forget.
They blast it away.
Right. But yeah, man, Luke might want to think about moving his academy elsewhere at this point, or
Well, if you want to do some weird retconny headcanon stuff, he does to try and fit the sequels in. So he
take it to Ossus.
moves it to Ossus.
I still wonder why they decided to make that planet Ossus and not Yavin for the new canon. Because to me, the planet looks closer to Yavin 4 than it does the comic, scenes that Ossus is seen in. I don't know. It's just weird.
That goes back to the whole issue of they could have
It could have gone either way.
right, but in general they could have done the Marvel way of the old EU isn't canon, but we're gonna cherry pick all the things we
Yeah.
like. We're gonna cherry pick the
Right.
stories and the characters
Yes.
we like and bring them forward, and not adhere new canon to the old canon, but not also just change things for the sake of it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's what it seems like a lot of times. It's like, well, you could have used this character, or you could have used this location.
It's strange because some of the things they have cherry picked, like Thrawn, his arc and his character is almost wholesale the way it was in Legends. Actually, to the point where Timothy Zahn, apparently his Outbound Flight Legends book, you can almost squint and fit it with his Ascendancy trilogy, according to people that have read those, not me.
Yeah.
But and then the same thing with his self-titled Thrawn book. The beginning of that is almost word for word the first chapter, lifted from the old Mist Encounter short story. He just changed some terms and words here and there, but it was basically the same story.
Right.
But maybe that's also partly Zahn. He likes to keep things consistent.
Well, it was his stuff. I think a lot of it has
Right.
to do with one, the new writers one, not necessarily caring about old canon or anything. They weren't fans.
Yeah.
They weren't necessarily fans of it. And two, they want to create their own stuff. So
Exactly. Luke's students.
yeah,
Maybe it's Corrin and Kipteron or something.
I think wasn't one of them a female?
Oh yeah, I think one is. Maybe it was Tyone.
I mean,
or whatever her name is.
I don't recall Kip's pronouns or anything, but far be it from me to
It's
assume.
it and thing.
Beep bop boop. Isn't that Gina
Exactly.
Carano's,
Exactly.
pronouns? Well, if that was Corrin Horn, he's dead. Actually, is that a girl or a boy? I can't tell.
Couldn't get a good look. But I know they had a few different NPC models on these levels, especially when you. Oh, it's got
I think
it's a
that's
man
dude.
bun.
I think it's Kip. Yeah, that's Kip.
It's a man bun. Kill him. I just recently I was checking out new music on Spotify and I saw this picture of this new band I was looking at. I was like, oh, they got cool album art. The samples sound cool. And then I saw a picture of the band and like two guys had man buns. I was like, I'm suddenly not interested.
I don't need to listen to new music. Let me turn on Yes.
Exactly. I'll stick with what I know. 20-minute songs about Shastic scriptures.
Ooh.
This in the game was super badass. This really feels like Bantam era Jedi Academy combat.
Uh-huh. Trying to pick up my lightsaber, picking up everything else.
There was a bunch of times I would force pull it and it would get stuck behind a door and everything. I'm like,
Oh
God
man,
damn it.
it's so annoying. Like if you're not holding it, the game should prioritize it. You're not gonna pull anything other than your lightsaber.
Right, right. It is funny though that in the code it was a separate object that could get stuck.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I never got down. I mean, there's still tons of lightsaber moves I never quite used in this game, but I never quite got down the running on the wall and jumping off the wall because I've seen other people really do good with that.
Yeah, I wasn't ever good at it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
I
it's
don't.
like
You know what? I'm gonna be real. I don't even know that I really realized you could do that even now.
I did it on accident a handful of times, but yeah, there's a lot of subtle moves. I mean, especially with the stance changes that you can do and all that.
I just think it's that none of it's necessary. It's not like the Fallen Order Survivor games where
Yeah,
it's necessary in parts of the levels and stuff. But
yeah, right. Yeah, and Survivor especially, like I was mentioning elsewhere, like with the different stances and the move set, it's triple what it was in Fallen Order. I think
mm,
it's insane. Like I haven't even seen all the moves, and
yeah,
I've been playing 95+ hours. Dead students,
Dorsk. They should have painted him green.
purple or whatever. Yeah.
I like how the stairs know that he went through, and then they just close.
Right. Maybe it was the spirit of Exar Kun. He wasn't dead yet, and he opened the stairs.
That'd be funny if he kind of like was hanging around, like
Right.
this blue force ghost, laughing at you and stuff.
Right.
I mean, they could have made that like
Yeah.
Dasan's, one of the reasons he came here.
Sure. Yeah, because Dasan was just another student among Luke's. Like, I don't think he was part of the original 12 in the Jedi Academy books, but considering that this story only takes place 1 or 2 years after Jedi Academy, he was clearly one of the early groups.
Bam!
Oh, that was a good kill.
I'll shove that cortosis up your ass. I just
Down
like
the back.
the wind up
Yeah.
because it's like the
Yeah.
heavy blows.
Right. Right. Where do I go?
I'm just looking for secrets or whatever.
Yeah, all these Star Wars games, whether new or old, I search every nook and cranny.
Molaram. Oops. All right, there, level 23. Ah, level 24, finally.
Grab the back to.
I'm so as good as this game is, I am very much
We're donezo
sated. Any thirst I had for this game is
for the next 20 years.
yeah, at least.
We waited 20, and we'll wait another 20 now.
And this was like a
All
little
right.
puzzle level.
Yeah, that's right. I
which
think they kind of did that on Jedi Knight too. There was some area that was like a temple puzzle kind of thing.
ish, yeah, it was. I don't know if it was Jedi Knight. I know Mysteries of the Sith had that.
Oh, that's what
That
I was thinking of.
horrendous
Yes.
fucking level at the
Where you
end.
pull the rope and then you go up and down. Yeah.
That was her. That was really bad. See, he's there. He's just invisible because the lightsaber will, circle him.
Yeah, right. That's a good way to find out he's there. I didn't use that method.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think I played this level several times.
Right.
It's neat. I actually feel like this level could have been longer, though.
Yeah.
I feel like there could have been more puzzles.
Well, you got your wish in Fallen Order and Survivor puzzles. Darn that XR Coon pushing these rocks.
You think Luke ever went down here and saw all that and was like, okay, we're just going to seal this area off?
Right.
No,
It's like
I don't need. Yeah, it's like a haunted house. It's like I don't need any of the students getting crushed.
Right.
Welcome to the future.
Your future's looking pretty grim, Dasan.
On the contrary, thanks to you, the weakling Jedi who scorned me will soon be erased from history, replaced by a new race of warriors. Strong warriors, warriors who know that the Force is not a shield to protect the useless, but is in reality a weapon to empower the worthy.
None of that's gonna happen, Dasan. Most of your shadow troopers are being mopped up by real Jedi. Ones who've been trained to use the Force. The rest blew up with your ship.
What a pathetic ruse. Descend to fire. Admiral?
I like that he
Admiral.
doesn't know.
Admiral Fire!
Right, he's
Order you
like-
to come in at once.
Way down in this temple, he doesn't know what the
I
hell's
was
going
wrong
on.
about you, Catan. Your failure as a Jedi hasn't weakened you. It's only made you stronger. Come,
The
Join me.
temptation.
you know in
The
your
other
heart
trope
that you'll
of Star
never
Wars.
truly be one of them.
Maybe, maybe not. But I know I won't be alone. How about you, Dasan? Even now, after all this pain, it's not too late. Come, join us.
He reverses it. I'm gonna kill you for killing Ken, the Jedi Prince.
Force will betray you to me.
That was always like what fans thought. I think we did talk about that in another level or whatever, but
Yeah.
because like I think it was Dasan. He the backstory is that he killed a student when he fled the academy, and so people. I remember on the old days in the forums, people were like, "Did he kill Ken?" Because we don't see Ken ever again after
Right, yeah.
the Trioculus
Well,
books.
it's just math, right?
Right. Yeah, it's kind of like fighting Jarek as far as there's a side thing, isn't there? Like with the beam, like can't you touch it and get invincible or
Yeah,
something?
you get one juice up from it to get
Right.
invincible, and then you can use that to do as much damage as possible.
That's right.
Which it took me a few tries to
Yeah.
be able to do it.
Right.
And I didn't even really do it because I didn't take
Yeah.
him out while I was invincible.
Yeah.
So
Dare to push me.
then it turned into a real fight.
More interesting that way. I've seen people like other videos where people cheese it with the power thing and they just kill him within a minute or less.
Yeah.
See, those are the people that continued to play Jedi Outcast after they bought it instead of setting it aside for 20 years.
Yeah. People that were fixated on it. They're like, this
Yeah.
this is the game.
Yep.
For
Just
the
like
next-
us with TIE Fighter.
Yeah. For a while anyway.
I think every Star Wars generation and every person has their game that, you know, they know inside and out.
Mm-hmm. Launching my little training droid
All right.
while I'm getting choked out.
That awkward walk off.
It's a neat scene, like in a video game, the camera position and stuff.
Yeah, that is cool. Where's Luke?
The stormtrooper putting his arms up.
Yeah, at first I was like, why is he raising his hands to the sky like he just escaped Shawshank?
Hubba hubba. Get a room.
Jan Hor.
You can't get a room now. I heard there's some vacancies.
Jen. Someday
Right.
you're gonna have to teach me how to do that.
Thanks for taking care of the Raven's Claw.
It was the least I could do for the pair of mercenaries who saved the Jedi Academy. I know you've probably heard this before, but the New Republic is forever in your debt.
You should have known it would take a failed Jedi to take out another failed Jedi.
Kyle, you were never a failure.
Luke,
You were a
I know.
fucking failure.
I'll be happy to hold your lightsaber for safekeeping.
Get the fuck
No.
out of my
I
academy.
think I'll keep it.
No one holds
I
my
knew it.
lightsaber
Lando
but
owes me
me.
5 credits.
Are you sure this is what you want, Kyle?
Look, I'm not saying I'm ready to join the Academy or anything like that. I mean, before
Which
I
I
do
already
anything, I figure that Jan and I have earned a long vacation on the beaches of Spyra. And after that, well,
After that, we'll see.
yeah.
Take your time, Kyle. We'll still be here when you're ready.
Thanks. And may the Force be with you, Luke.
Yeah, I think Spyra was from the Adventure Journals.
Yeah.
Nice little reference. And I don't think I mentioned it earlier in the game. I think it was the first level during a cutscene. I think Kyle mentions he has a reference to a Whalodon,
Mm-hmm.
which was the whale creatures from the Jedi Prince books. So
Yeah.
there was a reference to that. All right, Jedi Outcast. It's done.
Well,
Good, solid game.
yeah.
After it is, well, would you say it's the peak lightsaber combat of the classic LucasArts era?
It was. I mean, I know that I never played Academy that much. I mean, back
Right.
then I played like the first couple levels, and then I don't
Yeah.
know why I dropped it or whatever. But
And Academy is almost like, because it uses the same graphics engine, it's almost like an extension of this.
Yeah.
To me, Academy, because it only came out a year later in 03, it feels like it's like Doom 2 to Doom 1.
yeah,
You know, it's like the same basic game with a couple minor additions. So, you know, the lightsaber stuff in Academy, it's very, very close to this. I think it's 95% the same.
right.
But yeah, people refer to that in this as like the peak of classic lightsaber combat.
I mean, compared to any other lightsaber game back then, yeah, this is the peak.
Yeah. Oh, Tom Kane is in those credits,
Oh yeah.
who did Yoda and the Clone Wars and many other things. Yeah, this game, I don't know, it for some people this was like, I think, the last great LucasArts game for a lot of people. I mean, cuz I don't know, things changed when the prequels came and went. They were right around the turn of the millennium, things were shifting. And
I mean, I guess it depends on what your cup of tea is. I mean, for me, it was the Empire at War games.
Yeah, people love those.
But
too.
that scratched an itch I had, which was the
Yeah.
strategy games.
Yeah, because before there was only Rebellion and Galactic Battlegrounds, and I think the latter was seen as pretty good, but Empire at War was like the perfected real-time strategy game.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one, man, talk about a great series too. I still refer to it as the Dark Forces series. Fuck that Jedi Knight shit. It's the Dark Forces series. Even on my personal timeline that I've kept all these years, I don't think I have it on there now as this, but I used to just call this Dark Forces 3
Yeah.
Jedi Outcast. So, but yeah, just each game pushed technology and it came out with the surrounding technology of the time. So it's like bitmapped and then 3D for Jedi Knight and then the nice smooth 3D for this game. And yeah, it was just a great growth.
It's interesting you bring up the naming because it is like, Dark Forces and then Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight, and then it just switched over to
Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast.
Jedi Outcast.
It's because they always jumped on the promotion of the previous game.
Right.
To like milk that title.
Right. But then now, 20 years later, almost, with the release of Jedi Fallen Order, it's still continuing that naming scheme of the Jedi title, right? I mean, they don't have this. They don't have the colon, but it might as well. Have the colon.
And I'm okay with Fallen Order and Survivor. They're consistent in that they both start with Jedi. I'm glad they didn't go like
for sure.
Fallen Order 2 Survivor. That would have been the route that LucasArts had gone with these, but. But yeah, no, I'm glad that the Jedi series is very consistent, and I think in some ways LucasArts could have made the Dark Forces games a little bit of a tighter. I mean, they are a quadrilogy or whatever, but there some aspects of it are only loosely kind of connected. I mean, different dialogue actors for Kyle and things like that.
Right.
But,
right.
It's okay. So anyway, there it is, Jedi Outcast.
At long last, now we can play Yoda stories.